What's up? What's up? What's up? Coach Bruce in the studio. I am exhausted. These are my tired eyes. This is what they look like. Um, been plugging away at applications all day. Love it. It's so fun. That's a lie. And that's funny because we're going to talk about the truth today. What is your relationship with the truth? For me, um, the truth has been a complicated topic. I mean, I've removed a lot of the complications over the past couple of years, but before that, I thought the truth was something that was really malleable. I justified a lot of different things and called it truth because I made myself believe them. And I thought that if you can make yourself believe something, then isn't that the truth? Isn't that your truth? If you can sell the lie so good that you believe it, isn't that truth now? Um, it's not. Let me answer that question for anybody who's curious. It is not truth. And whenever you start with a little lie, just to avoid conflict. That's how it starts. It starts um, not necessarily out of a bad place, but out of trying to avoid some sort of conflict that you don't want to deal with, even whether it's internally or externally. There's something that you just don't know if you can handle, so you choose to maybe not handle it this time, maybe just to avoid it by telling a tiny little lie. No, I wasn't looking at that girl as she walked by, but it was, that's obviously a lie, and I didn't want to have a conversation. And that's kind of how it started to manifest for me. um, the deeper I got into the comfort with that malleable truth situation, the bigger and bigger the lies got, to the point where I was living an entire life that I kept telling myself was okay, that this is what I wanted, that this is where I wanted to be, that everything was completely fine and I didn't need to change or fix anything. My marriage is on the rocks. My career is financially successful, but is literally eating me alive and um, giving me so much anxiety that I can hardly perform in life. And I'm saying, this is fine. This is completely fine. And I was really good at telling the lie and made myself believe it. Um, then I finally left that career, and I had to redefine my relationship with truth. That was, I mean, it kind of happened before that, but that was like the straw that broke the camel's back that really made it, you know, super clear to me that if I didn't get a better relationship with the truth, my life was really going to continue to degrade to a point of really, possibly no return. So I did a lot of self work and kind of try to untell myself some of those stories that I'd gotten really really comfortable with, and started to break down some of those facades. And as I got into that, I started to realize that I didn't really want to be a liar. I didn't like lying. It actually caused so much anxiety for me. I didn't want to have conflict. So I embraced that conflict avoidance, situation from, and I think it goes all the way back to my childhood of seeing my parents fight all the time, and um, thinking that I don't want that. I don't want to be a person who's just constantly just butting heads with somebody all the time. So I took a different route, and I was, just wanted to get along. I just, wanted to find ways to just finesse the truth, so I didn't have to be a confrontational person. And as I started to understand that about myself and started to lean into that discomfort of conflict resolution. It wasn't leaning into conflict. It's leaning into conflict resolution, because this is me trying to improve my life, not make it worse. Not trying to walk around and find conflicts with my chest puffed out like, hey, you want some, bro? You want to go with me? No, I wanted to take the conflicts that were happening, that were going to be part of my life, and resolve them. Not avoid them, not start them, resolve them. And the answer over and over again to the consistent resolution was, you have to tell the truth. You have to tell the truth before you can do anything else, because everything that you build on top of a foundation of lies is it's supported by the lies, and at some point they're going to get found out. And if they don't get found out, you're going to be worried, whether subconsciously or consciously, that they're going to get found out at some point, and you're going to act that way. It is going to taint the things that you were doing, and you will find yourself in situations that don't really support what you're trying to do with your life. So the truth is, it's essential to building anything. It has to be built on truth in order for it to have any sort of enduring strength. So, I've been talking about the truth a lot in everything that I do, because it almost feels like a life hack. Like, tell the truth. It's so simple, right? But a lot of people don't do it, especially people who are like me, who are conflict avoidant. They are masking their ADHD or their autism. They're telling these lies. Like, masking is a lie. Not saying that it's a lie that masking exists. No. Whenever you go into a situation and mask versus having the conflict of, will these people like me? Will these people accept me for who I am? Showing up as somebody else, that's a lie. That's making the choice to be deceptive, and that's lying. Sometimes, a lie by omission is a lie all the same. And that was something that was another one of those finesse things that I was like, no, I'm not actively lying. I'm just not actively telling the truth. It's not the same thing. It is. Like, you have to remove the bullshit at some point if you want to live a life that is actually providing you fulfillment. If you want to keep living, a partial life that just gives you, somewhere to show up and kind of like bounce around for the day, then keep telling the lies. Go for it. Keep telling the half truths, keep omitting the truth. It's your life, but it's now or never, because you're probably not going to live forever, as Bon Jovi once said. Um, so that's something I've really started to find a comfort with. I'm saying find a comfort, but it's uncomfortable. Telling the truth can be really uncomfortable, but I'm comfortable with that discomfort now, because I know that whenever I'm feeling that discomfort, that's the growth happening, and I know that there is going to be some new level of achievement on the other side of that growth. So that discomfort is something like I'm excited about now. It's like, being in the dark so you can find the light. um, I now enjoy that process, and I think that anybody else who pushes through that initial super uncomfortable situation of, especially if you have to be the one to instigate this conversation of the truth, you have to go to your spouse or to your significant other, or the person who's really important to you, and say, hey, I have been dishonest with you about some of the ways I feel, some of the things I do, some of the stories I tell, whatever it is. That is very uncomfortable. But let me tell you, starting that uncomfortable conversation is much better than getting caught in the lies, because taking control of that uncomfortable situation gives you gives you some power. Getting caught in the lie, you are powerless in that situation to do anything but tell the truth, or worse in the situation. So if you are proactively doing it, you do have some, brownie points, or you do have a little bit of room to breathe. You can meter it out a little slower. You can, take your time to get there. You can kind of control the pace in which the conversation goes. If you get caught, it's truth time, lay it all out, or you're done for. And that's what I want people to avoid, because that's what happened to me. I got caught in my lies. They all eventually caught up to me, because the life I was saying I wanted, like all the things I claimed to be important to me, and the things, my behaviors, my actions weren't lining up. They were just like two, you know, pages from two different books, and they just didn't go together at all. And eventually it manifested in behaviors that were like really obviously not in support of my marriage. And that's a bad feeling. I don't want anybody else to get to that point. So that's why I really think it's so important to just tell the truth to yourself. I mean, that's the very first part of it is you have to stop telling yourself the lies that you're okay, that that this is fine, this isn't actually, you know, for example, like this isn't actually cheating. I'm just not telling my wife that I'm, you know, checking girls out when I go to the gym, or I'm not being open with my husband that I'm flirting with guys at work or whatever. It's it is a lie. And it's the beginning of something much worse. And that acceptance that you give yourself, that pass starts as like this is just a one-time thing. But whenever you accept that lie, you are internalizing it, and all of a sudden your standard for your life changes, and it continues to change until you are now fully doing the thing that you said that this wasn't a part of. The partial lie becomes the full lie, and now that's who you are. Don't do that. Just tell the truth. That's it for today. Tell the truth. Be yourself. Love yourself. I'm gonna get out of here and go hang out with my family. Have a good night. If I can figure out where the stop button is. I've got too many screens open.